What it do, baby boos, ice grill, country grammar. Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to be talking about how I went to EDC Orlando solo dolo this past October. And when I say solo dolo, I legit mean I knew no one. Yeah, and I went to this huge, well, it's not that huge. It's only like 6 or 8 stages, maybe 6 stages. But it was still big to me. And it was my very first music festival. But the fact that I did it by myself, I am so happy. And I will be going to more festivals and concerts and stuff by myself. So if you don't know what EDC Orlando is, it is Electric Daisy Carnival Music Festival based in Orlando, Florida. And it was for one weekend from the 23rd to the 26th, I think. And it's basically an EDM festival. Here's the lineup of the DJs that were there. And it was so freaking amazing, guys. Here's some clips of my time here. So let's talk about the pros and cons and the reason why I went by myself. The reason why I went to this music festival for the first time with never going to one by myself was because no one else wanted to go, or they couldn't afford to go, or they weren't interested in the music, you know? And I'm just like, okay, well, I want to go. And you know, I'm just like, you know, why wait for other people, right? Like, if I want to enjoy this amazing music festival, then I should just go ahead and go by myself. So what did I do? I bought a ticket in 2019. Of course, it got postponed in 2020. Then it got postponed to 2021. And then the day was finally here. I bought my flight. And then luckily, the room situation, I'll get into that. Let's talk about the pros and cons of EDC Orlando and going to it solo dolo. Let's start with the cons first so we can end on a good note. The cons to me, in my opinion, of going to a music festival by yourself is you don't have a support system. Yes, there are really nice people there. There were plenty of nice people. It was incredible how nice people were. However, you don't have your core group of, if things were to go wrong, who do I turn to type moments. You just have yourself. And that's a blessing and a curse, because honestly, it could be more of a curse, I guess. But then it could also be a blessing, because if everybody in your group is just drunk off their heads and you're the only one that's sober, then you can be the guardian of the group. However, if you're just by yourself, then you got to watch out for yourself and you don't have anyone to turn to. So watching this back, editing Kayla here, hey, what's up, hello. You do have people to turn to, and they are called ground control. That was my mistake. They totally slipped my mind. So technically, you are not always by yourself. You do have ground control, who are people who walk around the festival making sure everyone is okay, to turn to if anything were to go wrong, basically. So, safe festival season. Yes. Another con is very large crowds. Now, this festival, to me, yes, it was a lot of people, especially when you're trying to get in the middle/front to see the artists. However, even with it being in large crowds, there were times I was like, ooh, everyone's too close. I'm feeling a little bit claustrophobic. And I had to literally just look up and just praise to God that I don't pass out type thing. Because I'm just like, Lord, I'm feeling really anxious. I feel people on top of me. There's nowhere to move. People are still trying to squeeze by. And it was a lot of social anxiety type stuff. So that could be a con, a very large crowd and you not knowing anyone. You could get lost. Another con, just getting lost around the area. Even though the layout of the festival itself, I feel like was very plain and simple and basic. However, you know, some people, they don't have a sense of direction and they can easily get lost. Totally understandable, especially by yourself, or especially if you have social anxiety, you don't want to ask anybody for directions on how to get to a certain stage. So you can easily get lost. Two more cons is it could cost you a lot more. See, luckily, I ran into some people who wanted to split stuff, and I'll get into that. However, if you were just solo dolo by yourself and not knowing anyone, and you clearly just stayed alone by yourself, it could cost you a whole lot more. Like, you're not splitting hotel with anybody, you're not splitting food with anybody, you're not splitting alcohol with anybody, you're just paying for your own stuff. That can definitely cost you a whole lot more than if you had friends or a rave fam to split things with. And then the last con of going to EDC Orlando solo is there were periods of stressing about having a rave fam. Now, I did not go into this festival like, oh, I'm definitely gonna get a rave bae, rave family, whatever. Like, I just solely went into it like, okay, Hilly, you might spend this whole weekend by yourself, and you might not meet anybody, which is okay. You're there for the music, and it's totally fine. But there were periods like before when I was on the plane, like, oh my God, what if I really am by myself this whole time and I don't meet anybody anywhere? Like, that kind of got a little discouraging and sad. However, that was not the case, which brings me to some pros. Let's talk about the pros of EDC Orlando solo. So, some of the pros: you're on your own schedule. I loved hopping around the stages, even though there were, I think, 6 stages. I think there were only 6 stages at EDC Orlando. Even though there were only 6, I only made it to 3 because the artists that I wanted to see were only at those 3 stages. And I was on my own schedule. Yes, I met a few people that I stayed with, and I'll get into that in the next video. But I met with a few people, and they're like, oh, let's go here, let's go there. And I was brave enough to be like, okay, guys, I will meet you here at this spot, because you can easily get lost or never see that group again, to be honest, in the crowd. Because once a artist is on and you're not within that crowd, you might as well kiss your people goodbye, and you will just see them tomorrow, if not later that night at an after party, because it's hard to find that group again if you don't have a specific pinpoint of where the group is. But I would always drift off from the group. I'm like, okay, guys, I will see y'all in a minute. I want to go see this artist. You don't have to come if you don't want to, but I have to go see this artist type thing. And they were okay with it. And so I was just on my own schedule, using the bathroom when I wanted to, eating when I wanted to, and just hopping around from the different stages. Another pro, which can go with on your own schedule, is you can go wherever you want. Like I said, you can pee whenever you want. You can go get food or drinks whenever you want. You can go to a different artist to go see if you want to, and you're not tied down to just one specific stage or being stuck to hold your pee because the group doesn't want to go to the bathroom right now. You can do literally whatever you want. Another pro is you can be within different groups of people. So I did meet a lot of different people in a lot of different groups. And honestly, it was truly amazing. It was really amazing, honestly. Just having people from different walks of life. I met a lot of people from New York and Texas. I feel like I was the only one that came from Atlanta, but there were a lot of people from New York. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm just hopping from group to group and just meeting these interesting people. And there was no judgment. There was no such thing as judgment. Everyone was just welcoming and all that. And I officially consider EDC Orlando a place of happiness, because I was very, very happy when I got there and going throughout this whole thing within the different groups of people. Another pro, which again could be a blessing and a curse, is that going to EDC Orlando, you can squeeze through the front way easier because it's just you. You're not carrying 20 people behind you. It's just you. So you can easily maneuver your way between people, like going with the beat, trying to get to the front, way easier than having a train of people behind you. Like, the people that kept running into us, trying to get to the front, who had hella people with them, was so annoying. They were so annoying because it was already tight, and everybody's trying to see this one artist, and no one can move, and people are still trying to squeeze to get to the front. I did not like that very much, but if you're by yourself, you can get to the front way easier. And another pro is that you can either chill out as much as you want to, or you can go as hard as you want to. That's up to you. For me, since I was by myself, I did not go hard. I did not drink that much. I probably only had one beatbox. But other than that, I was drinking water, eating tacos, and just grooving with the music and being responsible. Because, again, yes, this community is nice. However, comma, you don't know these people. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, you still don't know the people around you. And yes, some people can seem nice too, but they have ill intentions. So, you know, you got to keep your head on a swivel. You got to keep your guards up when you're by yourself. And, you know, just move responsibly if you're going to do festivals by yourself. I know for me personally, I will be doing more festivals and concerts by myself because, for one, I don't want to depend on other people to not go somewhere. And it's like, if I'm going to go see an artist, I just want to go ahead and see them. Like, come on. So, with that being said, those are my pros and cons. But I also want to end it on this. EDC Orlando was literally the best. It was the best festival I've ever been to in my whole life. For it to be my first festival I've ever been to in my whole life, I know it can only get better for certain festivals that I want to go to. And I'm like, if this is how it is already by myself, meeting amazing people, then honey, I literally cannot imagine how good and blessed I will feel going to other festivals and other concerts, meeting more amazing people. Because that's another thing. Yes, you go to EDC Orlando by yourself. However, you're really not by yourself. You are surrounded by people who are doing the same thing, listening to good music, trying to eat good food, trying to take a break from reality and work and life, and just in tune with the music, trying to have a spiritual awakening and just letting off some steam, you know? Like, I think with EDC Orlando, I'm really, really happy with the results. And I already got my ticket for 2023 or 2022. And I will be going back by myself or not. However, I won't be by myself because I did meet some amazing people who are also going to be going. So I'm really excited for that. That'll be in November again, I think. And we're all going to be staying in the same hotel again, which I'll talk about in my next video of where we stayed. But yeah, I'm just going to say, don't be afraid to go places by yourself. You can do this. Especially, I know a lot of people put a lot of stress on women not doing things by themselves because, you know, the world is scary. Yes, the world is a scary place. However, you just got to know how to maneuver and be smart about where you're going and what you're doing. Don't be getting drunk, blackout, wasted by yourself when you don't even know your own surroundings. You know what I mean? So, and especially follow your gut. If you are feeling a weird vibe from some people, move, girl, boy, whatever. Move. And don't feel like you will not have a good time. Because honestly, by myself, I had the best time ever. I cried. I laughed. I felt warm. And another thing with EDC Orlando and just this community period, at least for my intake, from my perspective, I didn't sense any type of racism. I didn't sense any type of hate. It was literally people just hugging and being like, I love you. I love you. I hope you have an amazing life. I hope you have an amazing time. Stay safe. Like, it was a safe environment, a safe vibe. I didn't feel any type of ill intentions from anybody. And I was just really pleased with my experience with EDC Orlando going by myself. And now I encourage you to do it by yourself because, guys, it's worth it. It's so freaking worth it. Especially that last night with freaking Armin van Buren. The people that I was already with, we gathered more people that we didn't even know. And that last song, blah, 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 we all just looked at each other and just started dancing like crazy. And it was just an amazing time. Just embrace the change, embrace the newness, because you just never know what you're going to get. You just never know what type of people that you're going to run into. It's a good time, y'all. Don't be afraid to go to festivals by yourself. So, with that being said, those are my pros and cons of going to EDC Orlando by myself. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Peace.